Hello, hi, and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Map Asikamura. So, the Constitutional Court has unanimously confirmed that legislation criminalizing the use, possession, purchase, and cultivation of cannabis, aka weed, aka marijuana, aka ganja, aka dacha, aka Mary Jane, aka is unconstitutional. Now, according to the Court, certain sections of the Drugs and Drugs Trafficking Act and Medicines and Related Substances Controls Act are inconsistent with Section 14 of the Constitution, which is the Privacy Clause, in the context that it prohibits an adult, someone over the age of 18, from purchasing, using, being in possession of, cultivating cannabis, aka marijuana, in a private dwelling for their own consumption. Yeah. So because of, the original judgment by the High Court that actually suspended the constitutional invalidity for 24 months, which was in March 2017. Yeah, so it means that Parliament actually has 6 months to correct the constitutional defect. So guys, weed is not yet legal. It has not been decriminalized, in its entirety. It's just a ruling. We're now waiting for Parliament to correct the constitutional invalidity. However, the court has provided relief in the sense that any adult who is charged for the use, possession, purchase, or cultivation of marijuana in a private dwelling for their own consumption can raise the defense of personal use. Yeah. So there are still, certain things that we have to consider. For instance, you have to use it in a private dwelling for your own consumption, meaning you cannot go in front of a police car outside and smoke. No. You cannot go on the street and smoke. No. It is not allowed. It is not allowed. So we can agree that this actually needs proper regulation. I feel like we need the Cannabis Act, right, to properly regulate how this is going to go about exactly, because at the end of the day, we don't want white monopoly capital taking advantage and being the only ones that are able to sell this. I can't even believe we're here. Like, South Africa is literally a liberal country. We are liberal, guys. So all the Africans in Jamaica, you can come back home now. Like, you can come back home. You're allowed to smoke. This is actually a very big win for one of the parties to the case, Mr. Gareth Prince, who's actually been fighting for the legalization of cannabis for over a decade. In a previous case, he argued that he actually uses cannabis for religious purposes. But the court was like, no, guy, we can't make an exception for you just because you don't use it for recreational purposes and you use it for religious purposes. So finally, he got his way. Since there aren't a lot of facts when it comes to weed, and by the way, let me just say this, just because you see the hair does not mean that I'm super excited about this, okay? I'm going to base this on opinion and say that I've never heard anyone of dying of weed, right? But I do know that smoke in its entirety is bad for you. I've also seen people who are addicted to weed and it's not a pretty side. I don't care if you say it's a herb, it's not a pretty side if you're addicted to anything, okay? But I also know that it's got medicinal properties. So it's got some healing properties in there, which makes it good. So, yeah. Let's just be cautious and not get overly excited. Be responsible in however you're going to use this. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I love you guys. Use your talents to serve humanity, and I will see you on Friday. Goodbye.